Hello everybody, what's up Wednesday? I am actually gonna do finally another how-to video for you today. So my friend graciously offered her house for this smudging video, but it's a how to smudge your house. Come here. So this is Erica and we've only known each other for, I don't even know, 15 years at least? Yeah, we went to high school together, so lots of trouble, but a lot of fun. Lots of laughs. So we're gonna just begin at the front door and she's gonna film for me and we're gonna just begin to stage the house. All right? Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is, so normally you would traditionally use an abalone shell for this. One, it's also like a good heat conductor, so it's not gonna burn like, you know, your hand or the table if you set it down. And then secondly, you're gonna wanna get white sage typically, and that's what I use for my house. Like I said, we normally start at the front door. You always want to make sure to open either a door or a window before you begin, because technically what you're doing by cleansing the energy is you're releasing it out of your house, out of your space, out of your home, out of your, even your auric field. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'll first light the sage for you, and then like I said, you can just watch what I do, and if it resonates with you, then you can practice this at home as well. So I normally tilt mine down just a little bit. And just wait until it really has like a good little coil to it. And yes, I use lighters. I sage my house quite often, to be honest, especially if I'm doing sessions in my house with different people, because I always want to make sure that like the energy at the end of the day is only my own, or like basically light spirit kind of energy. I don't like to kind of leave anything behind, if that makes sense. So, and you really want it to kind of smoke, because to me also, at the end, I think a lot of people also normally will put the sage out when it's like when they're done. I don't. I believe that the sage will actually stop smoking when it's ready to. Like when the energy of the entire space is really cleared, that's when I think it does it. So before I smoke myself out here, I'm gonna begin. So I also don't know where I learned this, but I've always done it. I just do like this around the doorways. To be honest, I don't really know why. I've just always done it. To me, when I'm also cleansing, I'm also going through the space, and I'm, in my mind, I usually am saying somewhat of a prayer as well, where I'm just kind of asking spirit or the divine or the universe, whatever you pray to help me cleanse the space of any stuck or stagnant energy, to reset it to like a really high frequency, and like just a frequency of like love and light and clarity, something that feels almost like a breath of fresh air. And then I'll open each doorway. We'll do a little one here. Oh, sorry. Well, is there anyone in here now? Oh my god. Please don't tell me there's anyone in here. I'm like, okay. Oh my god, that would be, I would die. No, right. He was home. Thank God he was dressed. Surprise! Like, oh my god.
He's fine.
Oh wow. And then it still was
Gotta make sure it's saged.
Well, I was like, I already opened it. This is happening, so. Okay. Alright, and you're just gonna go to each space. Oh my god, I'm so heavy. It's hilarious. And you just really want to, I usually focus on going like corner to corner, and then once again, I still do like the doorways. So once again, when I do doorways, I kind of say this like internal prayer where I'm like, anybody who enters or leaves this space, like it's like, well, specifically enters the space is only for like my highest good, or like with my highest intention. It's almost like a protection thing where I only allow people who have my highest good at heart basically to enter my home. And that's just the way that I see it. Because once again, your space is yours. It's your decision to let anybody in or not. So if somebody doesn't have good energy, you don't have to let them into your house. And I just kind of go around from space to space until it feels good and it feels right. If you have to relight it, you can. Don't freak out. But you do want to try to get every space that you can. Alright, and then we'll go this way. And you probably noticed that I'm not using a feather right now. So that's the other thing. if you already have a practice, do what feels right. You know, if using a feather makes like sense to you, then do it. Smudge sticks in general, I don't think you have to. Technically, the reason that there even is a feather is because what they actually, like what the point is that you're carrying the 4 different elements basically of the earth in this process. So the shell represents water, the sage itself represents earth, the fire obviously represents fire, and then the feather represents air. So you have the 4 elements. The only reason I don't do it is because I'm like, well, there's already air, so air represents air to me. So that's the only reason I don't do it. But you can if you want to. If you're using like sage chips like in a bowl, then you are going to want to use a feather. Okay. And then we'll go down the hallway, and then that should be it. Do this room, right?
Yeah.
Is he in there?
Incoming!
Oh.
No, it's fine.
Okay, I'm like, can I come in? I'm gonna stage your room. Sorry. Just a little. This is so funny. All right. Sorry. You're like, your witchy friend is over. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Just make sure this is filled with love and it's all good. And then if there's a lot, like if it's still smoking pretty heavy, I usually put it outside and let it, because I live a lot on my patio too. So I usually will just let it smoke outside until it's done. And then I usually will honestly just put a spot where I know it's safe and it's not going to light anything. And I just let it, once again, just kind of rest and continue to smoke and cleanse the space so that, and this is their new house, so it's like setting a new intention. It's kind of perfect for the new moon actually, or the full moon, either one, but like since we had a new moon yesterday when we're filming this, so. But yeah, it's just nice to like cleanse your space so that it's all your own and only your energy, and then you can take it from there. Okay.